So in simple terms, change reconciliation is knowing all of the changes that were planned and authorized, understanding if they were carried out and were complete, and then knowing the totality of changes that occurred beyond what was planned and authorized and completed, and all of the changes that perhaps were unauthorized, some of them complete, some of them not. And then reconciling or settlement, if you will, to go back to that, is to understand the discrepancy and produce a report, an actionable report that shows the diff, the delta, or the difference between the changes that you meant to do and the changes that were done, because quite often, and I would say almost always, there will be changes that were not planned, that were done ad hoc. These changes were done for expediency's sake. Something was wrong, a hero stepped up, fixed the problem because time was of the essence, and the change advisory board, if you're following ITIL, was skipped. The other complexity in that is in today's cloud world or DevOps, we have changes coming from multiple directions. We may have them coming downstream, if you will, from something like ServiceNow or Snow as part of a change management process, but we may also have them firing up upstream, if you will, through the CI/CD process. Today, many DevOps organizations are looking at things like configuration as code. So not only are they pushing out new software and new apps to bring new business functionality and innovation to market, but they're also pushing out the configuration as well. So we've got changes coming from multiple directions. We've got authorized changes, authorized that may be not complete, authorized that are. We've got unauthorized that may be complete or not. And there may be interdependencies between the multiple directions of change. So reconciling is bringing everything to order across all of those varied directions. And that's a really hard thing to do. However, it's incredibly important because performance, customer experience, availability, and all of this may be highly dependent on all of that being settled, if you will, and in order. The benefit is you can start to evolve from the traditional build, break, fix mode that IT's been in for many, many decades, where we're chasing down problems and we're attempting to resolve them, explain the cause, and restore service. Instead, you can move into more of a preventative or proactive mode and find things that may cause problems. If you're using AI, pattern matching technology, and other algorithms, you can even calculate what the potential risk might be from one of these changes, perhaps an unplanned change. Looking at what the change, what the scope or blast radius or distance is between it and other important elements, and then take action. Think of this as being prescriptive, taking action to prevent problems, thus lowering your risk and increasing your ability to deliver higher levels of service.
Commonly, change reconciliation is executed manually, which is a very costly and inaccurate process, or it is not executed at all, creating significant stability, compliance, and security risks. Evolven provides an automated change reconciliation solution that mitigates the risk triggered by actual changes and clearly identifies the context of any executed change, planned or unplanned, while drastically reducing the cost of reconciliation. Here we see the Evolven web dashboard, summarizing the status of the actual changes reconciled within the organization's release, change, and deployment management processes. The dashboard shows the number of unauthorized, potentially authorized, and authorized changes across our end-to-end IT environments. The status of the changes was identified by Evolven's patented AI-based analytics engine, correlating actual changes detected by Evolven with approved change requests in the service desk and approved automated deployments, depending on your processes. There are additional helpful perspectives on the reconciliation results, slicing data by applications, technologies, and other reconciliation outcomes. If I'm a change manager, a DevOps engineer, or an application owner, I will drill down into the unauthorized changes to understand why some executed deployments bypass defined processes. Evolven takes me to the reconciliation module, where related actual changes are clustered together into Evolven tickets for easy review if such is required. Let's pick up this ticket. It groups together 14 Windows changes identified by Evolven as unauthorized. First, I want to see what these changes are to understand why they were executed without prior approval. Evolven provides me with the extensive information about the reviewed actual changes, where they were detected, what kind of changes are those, which specific configuration parameters were changed, and more. Based on this information, I can choose if I need to involve a subject matter expert to decide on the changes, or for example, here, or if I can take a reconciliation action on my own. For example, I can request rollback for this unauthorized Windows changes. In this case, a request will be created in Service Desk. The action will be recorded in the audit log, and the changes will be reconciled as unauthorized one once they were rolled back. Some actual changes Evolven marks as potentially authorized. When it finds that these changes could be related to some approved change request or deployment, even if they do not fully correlate to it. For example, if I continue to review tickets requiring my attention, I find 9 potentially authorized actual Windows changes that Evolven identified as related to a change request 00300054. They are potentially authorized because they do not match the list of changes expected to be executed as part of the change request implementation. If I recognize that these changes still should be implemented as a part of the change request, I can confirm them by adding them to the change request and authorizing these changes as such. You can see that here, the change request, related change request, was automatically selected. Once I click on apply, these changes will be added to the authorized changes audit trail attached to the change request. And finally, I can review all the information using scheduled reports that can be delivered directly to my email, or I can integrate and retrieve and integrate the data of the reconciliation into my existing tools or my data lake, consolidating or the IT management data using the API generated for this specific query. I can copy a link and put it in my code or into my integration to get the required data.